Good morning and good afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are Wilson. It's Mr. Fetch. I just want to give you a quick little lesson or review lesson on what we learned yesterday. First thing I'd like you to do is go ahead and open up your agendas right here. And while you're doing that, when you go back to Monday, I want you to click on this Constitution tab right here. And when you do that, of course, the notes that we went over yesterday will come up as such. Now what I'm going to do today is I'm going to highlight the main ideas, do a little bit of review, so we can do a little bit better learning than we did the end of last week and of course yesterday. And while you're pulling that up, I want to show you the source I'm going to be using because that's important. I actually went into TrueFlix this time, and where the government is, I found the Bill of Rights book. So I went ahead and went into the Bill of Rights and opened it up and started looking at some things in here. So we'll get back to that in a second, but back to our document here for the U.S. Constitution. A couple of things I want you to remember on this. Who was involved was the main two people that were involved with writing this document was this person here, James Madison, who we called the Idea Man. And I think I've taught you that it's good you go ahead and highlight main points in text and in note taking so you remember it. The other person here was the actual person who wrote it, or most of it, and that was Governor Morris. So these two had a huge part of who was involved. What was it? Well, it basically was a document that was responsible for setting up this, or the government. And it got ideas put on paper, such as the three branches of government that was suggested by James Madison, and therefore it was put into practice at some point later on. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that as well. A timeline that we must remember now, we discussed this yesterday, is there was 4 major documents that we've learned about so far, and they would include the Mayflower Compact, which was written way back by the Pilgrims here. They would include the Declaration of Independence, which was before the war and started the war in 1776. The war was ended by the Treaty of Paris, and then finally 9 years later, long after the war was over, the Constitution was written and our government began operating under it. Most of these ideas took place in Philadelphia, and I want to explain to you, or I want to show you something as far as why it was Philadelphia. When I was looking in this book here, I went ahead and found why Philadelphia was selected as a major city. As I was reading through this, and it talked about all kinds of things, I ran to this page here and it talked about why Philadelphia is the most modern city, and I started reading something here like people threw their trash into the streets and there were no toilets, only outhouses with holes in the ground, cows, chickens, so forth. So most places were disgusting, but Philadelphia is a little bit more modern. It had more restaurants and taverns and rooming houses to serve a large number of people, so that's why it was selected. And I didn't know that until I read it through that book, so I wanted you to know that as well. That's all I'm going to discuss today. The next lesson will be coming at you shortly. Thank you.